all of the old people are gone, you know, everybody's dead. So I got nobody to ask. Unless one day I run into somebody that said, you look just like JC. My father's name, he was called JC, not Jesus Christ. His name was John Carroll. So he always called JC, and he talked a mile a minute, but people just listened to him because he could tell great stories. So that's what that's about. It's my father and I on the right over here, and I had just done the Edinburgh Jazz and Blues Festival, which I influenced the owner to have blues on it for the first time. Because it was only jazz, and I talked him into having my band, and I was an English band. He had us, and he never looked back. And there's my brothers and I over here on the car. I think that was taken in Georgia. My brother Frank on the right. I'm in the middle. Brother Joe is on the left in that photograph over there. And this one here, the one on the right is me. My brother Joe in the middle. My brother Frank on the left. And this is the kind of work that our parents did, some of the work, picking cotton. And I remember being in the cotton field with my father, had this great long sack, and he was looking after me. My mother was probably away in somebody's house washing, or doing some other work or something, you know, cooking. She was a great cook. And my father was looking after me. And I was this little kid, I remember, and trying to help him pick cotton, you know. So I remember that. Next slide, please. That's my mother. That's Annie Sue. She was quite a head turner. She was a great mother. Very strict, but she had to be strict in order to keep us in line to make sure we didn't end up going to prison and never being able to get out of the prison in the South. So we were well behaved. My mother said, stop, that was it. She didn't have to say twice. She's very strict. And that's Sonny Terry Brown and McGee. They were guys that I was really heavily influenced by. Sonny Terry's playing. I used to try to play like that. I've done some shows with those guys when they were around. Really, really nice guys, and great duo. They didn't like each other at all. You know, but when they come to the stage, it's like nothing ever. No disagreement at all. Next one, please. And that's me in the middle. That's me in my early 30s. Yeah, when I had an afro. Yeah, nice. And on the left here, that's me in the platform shoes, the black and white shoes. They were 3-tier. I bought those in Kensington Market in London. I saw them and I walked around like this. But they were great. And that's Homesick James on the guitar there, beside me. Dave Brooks, a saxophone player, English, a musician, behind him. On the drums, you can't see him, but it's a guy called John Hunt played drums. That's Big John Richard in the middle there. And behind him is Stan Scrivener. He's a bass player. And next to Big John and Stan now, that's Snooky Pry, and Eddie Playboy Taylor, Eddie Taylor on guitar that did, if you like Jimmy Reed, you heard Eddie Taylor did all the fancy work.
Right.
Yeah. And over here, yeah, that's one of me, a shot. That's when I had an afro, you know. I tried to keep it, but it didn't want to stay. Next one, please. And here's a Mars College thing that I started to, because I wanted to give something back. And I started this program, you know, the Dare to Dream Project at the Mars College, where I would go into schools and teach harmonica. Because harmonica saved my life, I feel, and kept me out of trouble and got me into music very early. You know, I started at 9. And I wanted to give something back, so I got an endorsement deal from Herring Harmonica Company, and they gave me 2,000 of my signature harmonicas, and I would go into schools and give those out to the students after school